This video is primarily about the making of arrows, but I wanted to show off my latest bow design. It's a hybrid of an Asian-style horse bow and a modern Western long bow, not unlike the bear au sable. The sillas are made of layered bamboo, has a bamboo core, and Argentinian Osage orange parts and pieces. I cut arrow rests into both sides of the riser, and I'll do a proper video showing this off soon.
You go to town. I find that you gotta kind of pull back and clear it once in a while, just like when you're boring into wood. It feels like it gets too hot in there, otherwise it needs a second. So the jig you're seeing here is just some red cedar that I glued up, and I put a piece of 3/8 inside, 1/2 inch outside. Just steel pipe. And I just decided my length, cut it, lined it up with this as best I could. I poured epoxy in here, calling it the arrow rifle. And then the last step is getting rid of that other bit. So you just chuck the drill on the other end. I think it's better to pull them out with the drill. Anyway, so I don't know if the finish will show up or not, but it's got a few little tool marks in it, but because of the steel tube, it's actually burnishing and becoming shiny and polished. So I think a little light sanding, again with the drill on there, probably 220 grit until it's just shiny. They're pretty straight. They're made out of salvaged Douglas fir that I got from a friend's attic. And it's working out pretty good. Old Douglas fir is kind of like a crotchety old man. It's very stiff, but like springy. I'm taking that part out. So I wiped the arrows down with some wipe-on poly after I sanded them from 120 to 220. So I made my fir arrows, and I had them all taped together so I could taper the ends on the sander. And the way I had them taped, I thought, well, that's a pretty cool idea, so I will mask them, or I'll use that as the masking and paint them. And now I'm remembering I've got a little bit of overspray to clean up with some mineral spirits. After a more than necessary amount of work, I now have some cool paint designs on these arrows. Well, here's where we're at in the saga of arrow making. I glued the fletches on with my Doweling helical jig. Helical means they make a little helix. The first couple didn't come out so great. I won't be shocked if they fail, but I'm having a good time. Again, carbon fiber arrows are better, but if you like making things out of wood, wood arrows are pretty damn cool too. And it's a fun project. since I made them out of 3/8 dowel. They're a little thicker than my carbon arrows. They've got a really good feel to them, and they're really quiet shooting, surprisingly. I've never really shot wooden arrows before, by the way. Not since I was a kid, at least. Okay, thumb release. Again, the arrow is on the right side of the bow. I'm holding my thumb like this. And when I shoot, I release like that. If you want to learn more about this, check out Armin Hermer's videos. He's pretty awesome. Starting to think thumb release is superior. Now let's see how the wooden arrows shoot with my classic vintage Bear Tiger Cat 50-pound recurve. It's my baby. Haven't pulled this bow in a little while. Yeah, they shoot pretty good. A bit blustery, as you can tell from that large tree behind me. Never mind the creepy neighbor house. They seem pretty nice.